Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angels Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I'm gonna start coughing halfway through words now. I hope I don't lose my voice, but here we go. I already shuffled. Scorpio. Okay, come on. That's a lot of cards. 4 oracle cards, but I don't know how many tarot cards, but we'll find out. Alright. Oh. This is what's coming in here. I feel like this is a roller coaster ride already. How many cards do we actually have in tarot? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13? Lucky 13. Boy. Alright, so going into this situation, this is the Tower card. The environment seems to be completely paralyzed by this, in my opinion. 4 of Swords. Things are falling apart fast. The situation is just self-destructing. The other side seems to be just paralyzed with the whole situation. They're just kind of like dumbfounded. Don't know what to do. Whoever it is, whatever it may be, just like non-action seems to be happening here. Kind of like afraid to move, like standing on a rickety bridge. Like any movement could make the rest of it fall down. So just like freezing in terror kind of feel here. So things are falling apart. You're touching the corner of this Tower card with the Magician. Like, you seem to recognize this right away. I feel like you give it a moment for the other side to kick in, but you're realizing quite quickly that that's not happening, so you snap into action because somebody has to do something. And I feel like that's how it feels to you. You're just like, things are falling down around us. You can't just stand there. Just move. Like, I feel like that's the energy coming through. Like, move. Like, you can't just stand there. So you're doing what you need to do to get things to... I don't want to say correct. I don't feel like... To rebuild? No. I feel like you're just trying to... Like, in the Tower card analogy that I'm seeing, I'm feeling like the tower is falling, and there's bricks falling left and right, and you're getting people to move out of the way of the bricks. I don't feel like you're into, like, what do we need to do to rebuild or save this? I feel like you're accepting, this is falling apart. Move, so that brick doesn't land on you. Like, get out of the way. I feel like that's your kind of role. You're, like, getting people to get out of the way. You're like, stop hanging out around the tower. It's falling apart. You're going to get killed by one of these bricks. Get out of the way. And, like, you're trying to keep people away. Like, stay away. It's still falling apart. Like, just get away from it. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. The other side still, like, doesn't know what to do. I'm getting you're trying to just keep people out of the way. You're trying to minimize disaster, if that makes sense. Because there's really not a lot you can do while the tower is falling apart. I feel like you're accepting it's falling apart. Just, all you can do is get people out of the way and let it fall. Because it's falling. There's nothing you can do to fix it. So as we keep going, the next card, it's touching your Magician card. I feel like after the tower is finished falling, you're just kind of accepting the situation fell apart. It's not going to be what it was, but let's try to salvage what we can. This is definitely, the 7 of Swords is one of those cards. Like, you know what? What happened, happened. But there's good to take from this. Let's gather what we can and rebuild what we can. It's not going to be what it was, but we could still salvage some of this. And I feel like that's your attitude. Like, you know what? There's no time to cry about it. Let's just pick up what we can and keep going. Now, this is when this card kicks in on your side. And this is the last tarot card on your side. And this is the last. This is going to carry you through the end of this reading. Page of Pentacles. You're dedicated to this. You're in this mode where you're here to help. But you're moving forward. And you're continually moving forward. You're dedicated to this. I feel like you're more dedicated to the people than the situation, though, to tell you the truth. Because I feel like you're very much actively supporting people and you're sticking with that. I'm getting this like helpful energy, kind of like that same energy where you're like telling people, get out of the way of the falling bricks. You're still looking out for people going forward, but you're trying to help keep them in line to be okay and be safe. You're not really getting out there and trying to promote your own agenda. You're just trying to keep people from ending up with more disaster than they really have to have. Now, even though you're kind of doing that, you're not pushing forth an agenda, I do see like you're inspiring a moment here where the other side, they go from the Eight of Swords to the King of... Is it the King of Swords? No, the King of Wands. So the Eight of Swords is feeling stuck, can't do anything right. Like there's too much danger around you. There's usually a little bit of bull with that. Like it's not as bad as it seems, but it's someone usually feeling paralyzed by fear, in my opinion. The King of Wands, this is active. Like this person goes from being, well, the situation, whatever it may be, could be a person though, goes from being completely paralyzed emotionally to going into a completely active stance, which is kind of shocking to me. It seems like you're inspiring someone to move forward and to like not sit there and just wallow in it. I feel like you're pushing forward. Like the more you just stand there and look at it, it's just going to be that much longer to get it back in the right. It's just going to hold you down that much longer. And I feel like you're inspiring somebody to move forward, like to get up, move, do something. Because this, you just standing here being upset about it, it's really not good for you or anybody else. So let's go. I'll help you. Like I feel like you're like that. I feel like a very supportive attitude. Like just choose what you want to do and I'll help you make it happen. Just get up and we can do this. Like get up. Like I feel like that energy is happening here. This goes into the action line with the Sun card. You're inspiring this person. You're inspiring this person. This person's creating this good moment in the environment. Now, the tower it's been destroyed at this point. You've tried to salvage what you could. This other person was kind of wallowing in it. You inspired them to get up and move. The Sun card happens. I feel like this is a very inspiring moment. Everybody seems to be on the same page. All right, we're going to fix this. We're going to pick up what we can. It's not going to be what it was, but we can, salvage what we can here. Now, when this comes forward, I feel like this is like this person on the outside here, or this other person, however they're connected, they're addressing and they're evaluating everything. This is what the tower was. This is what happened. This is what destroyed it. Now that it's destroyed, what do we need to do to rebuild another tower or something else like it that's more stable, more secure, more sturdy? Through this moment, let's use that. It's not going to be able to it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be able to even start right away. That's not the right time. And it's going to take a while. You got a year from now here, which I've said this a lot in these readings. Like it's like asking a kid in September how long Christmas is away, and I apologize, but I think most people know what I mean by that analogy. Like Christmas is December, in case somebody doesn't know. If you ask a kid how long that's away, they'll be like, oh, it's forever. It's like a lifetime away. Literally, it's like 3 months. But to them, that's like a year away. Like that's what this card is saying. It's how it feels. It's like it's a long haul out there. It's not going to happen quickly. It's not going to happen anytime soon. All right. So as that goes forward, because I feel like this is saying this is going over this moment. The Sun card is inspiring this, addressing the situation, seeing the truth of it. It's not going to happen right now. It's going to take a while, but it can happen. This actually inspires people to, pick up, do what they can, fix what they can, keep going, one foot in front of the other. I get that there's a lot of people looking for answers, trying to understand. I feel like there's a lot of people trying to understand the tower. Excuse me, and I'm getting the burps. I hate that. But that's one of those physical triggers to let me know this is rough energy. What it's telling me is like people are trying to understand the tower I really feel that, especially because he's looking back at the tower. You can't see it on here, but that's kind of what's going on. Trying to understand why it happened. I feel like there's some people kind of, even though they're overcoming the situation and they're moving forward, they're still questioning, like, why did that even happen? And this is purposeful because they don't want it to happen again. So it makes sense. It's not like just wallowing in it and feeling self-pity. It's not like that. It's trying to be optimistic or educated to understand why did that happen, because we don't want to build another tower with the same flaws. We don't even want to build a tower with only half the same flaws, because it has even the half the same flaws. There's a potential it could happen again. It could fall apart. So I feel like people are trying to understand why while still moving forward. As we keep moving forward, like, people are really getting deep into this. The meditation brings answers. People are trying to really understand, like, what happened here? Why did it happen here? What's going on? It's like feeling like, wow, how could this even happen to begin with? One of those feelings. Now, I feel like the answers are coming. And it seems to be coming forward about what happened and why. Finding out all those pieces, all those bricks that were wrong with the tower to allow this situation to even happen. And I feel like it's a very scary moment, because I feel like people are looking at it like they were oblivious, and things they thought were right turned out to be wrong, and all that other good stuff. And there's a bunch of emotions going on here. I feel like you're kind of like looking at this in the sense of success, because the problems have been identified, and this is going to allow a better day. The Emperor seems to be between you and what's going on in the environment. Like, I feel like there's an evolved look at the situation. You're definitely a part of this. I like that the success is on your side, because I feel like you're one of those people pushing it forward. Like, the tower happened. At this point, we can't go back and change that. But if we can at least make this so it doesn't happen again, or look at this in a power position to strengthen ourselves, let's at least take that. Clearly, I wouldn't want that tower to happen again. I didn't want it to happen the first time. But now that we have a more stronger viewpoint of the situation, at least we can take this into the future and secure ourselves that much stronger. Like, save ourselves, guard ourselves, whatever you want to put. And I feel like that's why the Emperor is here. But I am noticing in the environment is the Ten of Swords. Like, people are really upset that they didn't see this vulnerable spot beforehand. And I feel like you're trying to pull people up and, like, you know what? What's done is done. What's done is done. We can't go back and undo the past. The past is just that. It's the past. It has passed by us. You can't go back and change it. It's too late. And you're moving people forward, especially with the Knight of Swords here at the end. Like, I feel like you're inspiring people to just keep going forward. And this is, again, that same energy from the beginning, like the bricks falling down. Like, you're trying to inspire people, stay out of the way of the bricks. Let's do what we can to protect ourselves from more bricks happening in the future falling from the sky. Let's do what we have to do, and we'll be okay. So at the end here, I feel like you have a very positive influence. It does feel like this is a very rough road, but I feel like you're doing fairly well as could be expected for the situation. Like, you're not at all excited about this whole tower thing, but I feel like you're just picking up and handling what's been handed to you best you can. You're looking for a resolution. You don't want it to get worse. You're ready for it to get better, so you're actively trying to get involved and do what you can to make that happen. And it does in the end. I feel like you're help pushing it forward. You seem to have a lot of positive energy going forward here, connecting very strongly with you. And I do want to address this one last time with the Ten of Swords on the other side. This is after this meditation card. Like, the answers are coming forward. They're finding out why the tower happened. There's a lot of pain here. And I do feel like it's a very heavy situation. Something needs to pull this up out. And I feel like you taking this positive viewpoint from it, as in what we can do going forward, I feel like that's something for people to hold on to, because this tower, it just keeps coming back like this is a thing. Like, this is a serious, like, it makes sense why this is here. But I feel like you having that viewpoint that you do, it helps people like, all right, yes, that happened, and addressing their pain, but like, you know what, let's take something from it. Never wanted it to happen to begin with, wish it didn't happen, but we can't change it now, so let's pick up and keep going. And that brings the Knight of Swords in the future. More strength going forward, more success, well, more strength going forward. I feel like this information is taken forward and it makes a big difference. I feel like it's a really good thing. It's just a hard situation to go through to begin with. Good? Good. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.